My fellow viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to come here at this point in time. Please, I'm going to show you how I made this exquisite, classy viral gown of 2025. Is so pretty, as you can see there, is very beautiful. If you like what you're seeing there, I advise that you sit and pay special attention, and as I give you a full tutorial video of how I cut and I sew this gown. Hope you will enjoy. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, lovely people. This is Yellowberry and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please keep watching, and if you like what we do, just subscribe, like and share. So this afternoon I'm just going to show you how to cut pattern for one of the trending BUBU gowns. So you can either make it into a kaftan or you can make it into a BUBU. The difference between kaftan and BUBU is that kaftan is well fitting, so you don't have to take extra measurements for it to be loose, but with BUBU it means you have to add extra inches out of your pattern to make your gown a little bit loose. So here I've got my basic body pattern, of which has got my measurements: upper chest, bust line, waistline and hip line as usual. So it just depends with you whether you want your BUBU to have a v-neck or a round neck, of which mine I want it to have a v-neck. So I'm just going to measure 8 inches from the top going here, and I'm just going to put across my 8-inch line down from the top to the bottom there, right? And with the sleeve, you have to measure the length of your sleeve, of which some want 3/4 or a little bit shorter or longer. With mine I've measured 25 inches. That's what I'm going to go with, 25 inches, and I've just drawn a line down across. Some people may say because it's a BUBU gown, this one is going to be a BUBU gown I'm making here. They say because it's a BUBU gown you don't have to go down like a slanted line, but with me I prefer to go down with a slanted line, and you see that with the material, and by the end of the project it will just drape down nicely down your shoulders. So I prefer to go down with an inch and make a slanted line. So at the end of it, I'm just going to measure, I'm going to use 12 inches down for my sleeve opening, of which I'm going to use elastic to make it whole. So I'm just going to use 12 inches going down, and I leave it there. So the next thing now, because if you look at this type of BUBU we are making, the waistline does not sit right on your waist. It's sitting like a little bit upper waist. So what you're going to do, we're going to measure 2 inches from your waistline, from your original waistline going up. So this is 2 inches I've measured from my original waistline going up, and I've drawn this my 2-inch new waistline. So after I've done that, I'm just going to go straight to my original waistline, and because this dress is going to be this gown is going to be loose fitting because it's a BUBU, I'm just going to measure 1 inch going out plus 2 more inches to make it 3 inches. So I'm just going to measure 3 inches from now it's going out. This is 3 inches, and when I've measured 3 inches, I'm just going to do the same all the way down along to my hip line as well, along all the way down to the length of my BUBU gown. So I'm just going to measure 3 inches going out, 3 inches going out, down to the very bottom. Keep watching.
Where there's rumpus is a BUBU gown. You can either choose to make the down.
So let me explain by saying the reason why we have drawn this new waistline is because the top of this BUBU is pleated, and now when you want to use the original bust line to make your pleats, you see that by the end of it, by the time you finish making your pleats, all your top is shifted up to the upper chest and it won't look right. That's why now we go 2 inches above the waistline, so that if we make our pleats, it shifts and it will just slightly go up the waist right to just below your bust line, of which it will come out with the proper shape. So the next thing you're going to do now, you're just going to use your free hand just to join now the depth of your sleeve all the way now to those markings you've just marked, these inches, the 3 inches that you've just added all the way down. You're just going to connect all of them until you get to the bottom of your gown. And now the next thing now is to go on this line. We've gone 2 inches up to connect it with this outside line, which is your new line, okay, to connect it. So you're going to use your free hand, or you're just going to use your curved ruler just to connect it. Okay, just try and use, of which this is the hip line, just try and go just a little bit above the hip line for the curving. So I'm just going to use this pattern maker and just draw my curve line. So as you can see, I've just gone on my 2-inch line and I've just connected it with this, now my new outer line, just above the hip line, just a little bit above the hip line. Hope you can see what I've just done there. So the most important thing to note is that what you've just done to the front, you're just going to do exactly to the back. What you do to the front, you're going to do exactly to the back. And you see that the top one, we're going to snip open so that we can have space to make our pleats. So after you finish connecting all the lines and all the line, make sure they're nice and smooth. Then it's time for you to cut out. So you're just going to cut out like this. Going to cut now this top pattern that I've just come up with. Pardon me, because my pattern has been rolled, so now it's keep folding, but I hope you can see what I'm doing. At the back, you can just go by that 1 inch in and just cut. So now we've come up with our top pattern. So the next thing you're going to do, this is now the layout of your pattern. The next thing you're going to do, because this is the front, you're just going to go with that your 8 inches and just open up. Okay, so we've just gone up down with our 8 inches, and we've just made our opening from there to there. And now the most important thing now, before you make any cuttings now to make your slits to maintain the shape of your pattern, the most important thing now is for you to measure from here, from this your upper waistline that we've just made that curve. Just measure the length all the way going down, so that now when you attach to the bottom skirt, now this part will fit perfectly fine. So before you make any slashes, you just have to measure So this is what we are going to do. We're going to take our tape measure, and we're just going to measure how many inches we have here. Okay, so here with mine, I've just seen that I've got 15¼ inches. 15¼ inches. I'm just going to write it there. 15¼ inches. All right, so now this one, now you're going to take your ruler starting from the center line there, and just make some straight lines. But when you draw the straight lines, don't go to the end there. Just go like, leave an inch or 2 inches up from the shoulder line there, and just go down. Okay, and start going down. Start going down. Okay, and just drawing some lines. So with this part, you can choose to continue going depending on you, if you want all the sleeve to be pleated, or you can just leave it like that. But you see that at the end of the pattern, it will just appear as if it has been pleated, even if it hasn't. So this is what we are going to have now. We've just made our lines there. So the next thing is just to take our scissors. Let me repeat myself again. So the reason why we are measuring from here to here before we snip is that when we snip and when we start making our gathers or our pleats, we just want to come to the same measurement like we've gotten here. Like there, I got 15¼ inches. So if we snip open, it means it's going to get wide. But when we are sewing back to our bottom skirt, we just want to maintain that 15¼ That's why it's very, very important that you measure before you start snipping. Okay, so remember not to go to the very end like I've just said. Okay, me, I'm just going to leave the pins where they are where I just traced my basic pattern to the one that I'm just cutting. For some reason, I just leave it like that so that I don't get things wrong. So we just continue cutting. All the way until we get there. Okay, so let me explain it clearer on fabric. So I've taken my fabric, I've folded it into two, and this is my center front, and make sure the center front is on fold. Okay, so you're going now to spread that pattern. You've just made some slips on your fabric. Make sure the center part is straight on the fold, and when you finish do that, just take your chalk or anything, a pen, and just trace now all the way through. Now trace all the way through. Make sure you spread your your pattern fairly well, so you leave enough spacing in between so that when you start pleating it will come up with a nice rounded pleats. So this is how you're going to do it, and you're just going to take your scissors and start cutting all the way, following that place you've just laid your fabric. And remember, what you've done to the front is just what you're going to do to the back. The only difference is that the front has got that 8-inch slit for the v-neck, and for your back you're just going to do it like we said. It's just going to be 1 inch going in as usual. So as you can see, I'm just cutting up my fabric, just following the pattern. Okay, so after I've taken my pattern from my my fabric, I've got two pieces now, the front piece with the v-neck and the back piece. And at this time you should now have 2 pieces, of which I've got mine here and I just put aside. So we go back and we take that our bottom part of the dress, of which if you can remember, that curved edge and the rest. So you take your length of your BUBU, how long you want it to be, and mine is going to be 40 inches long, and you just pin down your pattern and make sure that you fold your fabric into 4, like I've done mine. It's into 4, and you just have to cut the front and the back together, because remember, this dress does not have a zipper, so it's just going to be everything on fold. Okay, so then we go and you just cut. I'm just going to cut all the way around. So I'm just going to cut all along until I take all my pattern off, and keep watching, and you see the next step when we join this front piece, this bottom part of the dress onto the top part of the dress. Okay, so now that I've finished cutting the bottom part of the BUBU, I'm just going to unfold it, and I'm just going to lay it down on my table like that. And I take now the top part, front piece of it, and I'm just going to lay it at the top there. Just make sure you find the center of both fabrics so that you can just have your fabric even together. And may I just emphasize on this, before you start doing all this, make sure you've put some lining on the top half of your BUBU so that it becomes firm, because sometimes with the fabric it won't slip nicely. But just put some facing on there and make sure that this one stays nice and intact. So as you can see, this is my center front, it's here, and this is the center of my bottom skirt. So now that shape you saw earlier with something that looked like flying wings, this is what you have to look for now, and this is how you have to do it. So watch carefully. After you've put all your linings and everything, now you are going to start now together. You are going to start together to put all the gathers. All right, you're just going to draw your fabric and put all the gathering like I'm doing now. When you get to the edge, this one will just automatically click with the bottom of your BUBU dress. So this is how you do it. Then you go to the other side again, you start to gather, as you're gathering, you see that it's pulling itself towards the bottom skirt. So you just keep gathering there. Look how it's coming to close that gap. Look, you keep gathering until you close this gap and you stop. So this is how you're going to gather, and you do the same again to your back piece. So I'm just going to make the gathers, and when I finish, I'm just going to show you how it will look like when it's attached to the skirt, and how it's going to, we're going to close the whole thing up together. Just keep watching. So guys, this is the outcome of my trending high waist pleated BUBU gown. This is what I've come up with. As you can see, the waist pays special attention to here, that curving here, the high waist, they curved your high waist, and all those slashings we've done on the pattern paper, and then we put it on the fabric. This is how it has come out like, and it went out down right down to our sleeves. And like I've said before, mine I was going to put elastic, so I put elastic. But if you remember well, this part, this top part, when I did the slashes, I did not slash it. But then when I finished, of course, I just found out that it looked nice, but it was going to be more nicer if I put some more pleats at the top as well. So instead of just put elastic, I've just elasticated it. So this is how it has come up like, come out like. I've just elasticated this top part of the sleeves, both sleeves, as you can see, and this is how it has come out like. So like I've said, you can make it in a kaftan or into a BUBU. A kaftan is that one that will just fit you right to your correct measurements, and a BUBU is that one you add extra measurements for the garment to be loose. So this is what I've come up with. It looks very nice, and the color is very. And the other thing to mention is, if you see, it's well fitting, it's nicely fitting on the waist, which means I've put some rope, both sides, just to measure on your waist. You just put on the gown and see where you want to attach the ropes. Then from inside your garment, just attack one rope there and one rope there. And what you do at the front, like I said, you do it at the back as well. So this is after you've tied the rope from the inside, you find out that you come out with this nice shape around your waist area, and it's like that on the back as well. So this is the back of the dress, of which you can see the pattern is just the same, and the pleats are all the way, and they all down the sleeves as well. So you have this loose fitting sleeve which you drape down nicely when you put on, and you give your waist that clinch that will perfectly show the pattern. So this is the outcome, guys. If you like what I've come up with now, please like, share my video, and please don't forget to subscribe, that I'll keep coming with more. Tell me what you think in the comment section about this my lovely high-waisted pleated BUBU gown. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye.